Hello there everyone! Soon it's the official opening day in Denmark in most rivers. This is Gudnåen and it opens a bit before, so that's why we are here today. But soon the opening for all the other rivers will take place. And I would like to just make a short video regarding all the gear and the stuff that I bring for this opening day fishing for salmon. So basically, if we take it from the top down, I like to be as mobile as possible, to have as much movement space as possible when I fish. So I really like, you know, a small bag like this, a small chest bag or a small sling bag, to have only the essential gear. When I go fishing on the opening day, I normally tend to choose one stretch of water and then fish that the entire day. So together with a friend or two. And basically what we do is we have a place at the middle of this where we leave all our gear, all our lunch and stuff, and then we just fish the stretch of water. So I travel as light as I can to be as mobile as possible and to be as comfortable as possible. So I have this small bag. In here I of course have my tippet, and inside the bag I try to carry as little as possible. So I have only the most essentials. I have my fly box, and I fish a lot with tube flies for salmon here in Denmark. So basically this is the CF Design fly box. They're available in a lot of different colors and a lot of different there's one with 3 and one with 5 compartments. So depending on the average size of your fly, you can choose exactly how you want this box. There is a slotted space over here for all your tube fly hooks. You have 2 small compartments where you can keep all your propellers and your swing tubes. So basically these boxes are just great, and I have quite a lot of these. Another thing I bring on the opening day, which right now I've left in the car, is a small case where I have a spare shooting head, a spare running line, but also I have a couple of other shooting heads, so that I can easily change if the condition change, or if I fish another stretch of the river that is perhaps deeper. So make sure that you have lines for that particular fishing you're doing, but also that you have lines so you can change up things and try to diversify the second or the third time you fish a particular stretch of water. In Denmark, it's required by law to fish barbless. So of course I have my pair of pliers to make sure I have no barbs on my hooks. But also, if I were that lucky and catch a fish, it's easy to remove the actual hook. And that's the basic setup. Of course, there's waders and a hat and stuff like that, but all that depends on the temperature and whatnot. So I'm not going to go too much into that. Another thing I think is a crucial part of my fly fishing for salmon is to have a net that is large enough for the biggest of fish and for the biggest fish you could ever dream of. More than once I have really just it's just so much easier to control a big fish, to land a big fish, if you have a proper landing net. So these triple XL nets from McLean is the way to go, and this is the third or fourth season that I have this, so it's just been worth every single it's worth the price for sure. Really good quality. Then I of course bring my rod, and for this opening fishing I'm gonna use my NRX Plus G Loomis rod with my trusted speedster reel. I have a lot of different lines, as I said, but I like the Rio Versatip quite a lot, and also the Rio Max Game Changer Sketchet lines. So depending on your type of fishing, I would say that those are 2 of the best bets out there for a stand-up standard setup for when it comes to your fly lines for your double-handed rods. I use the real metered shooting line for fishing in Stone and in Denmark, and I use that because it has and I use it in the 0.42 because that's the thickest diameter I can get. And the reason for that is many of the rivers in Denmark are not as fast running. So if you have a thick running line, it will make your fly swing faster, and that can be an advantage. Of course, bring your absolute favorite fly. This is a new one I just tied for this opening. It's called the Jester, and I have a lot of faith in that one. When it comes to tactics and on how to decide exactly how to choose a spot and how you want to fish that particular place, what I do on the opening day is, instead of spending too much time, stressing out and running around all the time, I simply in advance I pick out a particular stretch of water that I've decided to fish, and then I fish that stretch of water all day. I sometimes fish the same stretch of water 4 times in a day. I do this not to be caught up in this completely mayhem that social media can be on this opening day, where if you open Facebook or whatever, you'll just see silver big fish everywhere, and that can put a lot of stress on you. So that's why I also choose a spot, a stretch of water that I know has produced fish in the previous years, but I also choose a spot that is quite far away from the nearest parking, so that at least some of the time I will not be overwhelmed by the other fishermen. Also, I start my fishing quite early. I often am ready before the light breaks, so I can be sure that I'm the first fisherman to fish a particular stretch of water. Then as I move along and fish during the day, I change the setup and I change the fly a few times. So perhaps I fish the first time with one particular pattern and one particular line. It could be intermediate sink 3, sink 6, and then on the next movement down, I could swap to a sink 4 and enlarge a fly, for instance. So I try to switch things up as much as possible, even though I'm fishing the same stretch of water, to try to maximize my chances of actually hooking a fish on the opening day. So here in Denmark, we are truly blessed and have some of the actually Denmark is the only place in the world where the salmon population has continuously increased during the last 10 years. So we are we have some really good salmon fishing, and this is of course due to a lot of people who spend a lot of time restorating waters, doing a lot of things to keep the salmon there, and their job really should be acknowledged. But the salmon season, and in particular the opening day, is special. It's not all about just catching that one fish. It's also a lot about talking to a lot of people. So even though you pick a stretch of water that is not that visited, I always take the time to go to some of the more visited stretches of water and some of the biggest parking spaces to have a beer and to talk with people, because the opening day is much more than just catching a fish. And I'm looking so much forward to this one. As always, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. So, thank you for watching this, and good luck out on the water.